to the beat.
Under your wing, everything is alright. Nothing ever will be quite the same. And I wouldn't say that it's been a hard time. With you it's always easy as can be. I could wait a long, long time to prove that past and wishes have been lost. I could wait a long, long time to prove that I am true. I hope you believe me. I will stay and never go away.
Wake up, sunshine, the brightest sky. Follow me on this journey. Leave your troubles far behind. It's a new day, yeah. Lights out, I know it's our time. You and me are free tonight. What would we become if we don't take our chance? can see you. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. I can see you. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. I can see you. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. I can see you. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. Close your eyes. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. I can see you. I can see you. I can see you with my closed eyes. Hold on to hope, don't let go. Don't give up, there's rest for your weary soul. And time to heal, yet still you fight with what you're told. And hold on to your scars and wounds and paths of old. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah. And I said, ooh, my words are few, but I love you. Those words, please hear them. Yeah. I can't begin to comprehend what you've been through. I wish it was all just pretend, just an awful dream. But please don't let your heart grow dead. For God restores and brings hope and grace and truth and life. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah. And I said, ooh, my words are few, but I love you. Those words, please hear them. Yeah. Grace is the reason why we're both alive, so we'll pour out grace until we die. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah. Something about you. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me.
Welcome from all over the world to Thrive as an Empath. Please help me welcome to the stage your MC, Suzanne Malott.
Welcome to the Empath community. First, I want you to just look around. Look around. These are your people. They are going to be your people, your empath family, at least for the next 3 days. So I want you to go ahead. I want you to stand up, because when you see me over the next 3 days, I'm also going to be getting you up and moving, getting your energy up so that you can open up to what is coming. So we're going to do some music. Are you ready? If you can stand up, I need you to stand up. The name of the game for the next 3 days is you are going to play all out. Okay? And I'm going to do it with you. So stand up for me. Stand up, guys. Amazing. I already see people moving. Amazing. Do something you don't normally do with your body. Just move around a little bit. Remember, you as empaths, we absorb a lot, right? We absorb a lot. So let's move that energy through. Great job. Great job. Amazing. I see Deborah Dunlap is all in. Amazing. Ivana Jovic, you're in. Rosita Enriquez and her little baby, I see you. Come on, guys, get those arms moving. If you can't stand up, get the arms moving. Shake off what you've absorbed. Great job, guys. And I see, amazing. Hawani, I see you. Great job, guys. Great job. Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. I have been watching all of you, and I've been watching you blow up that chat already. Gets me really excited. The team, Oliver, all of us watch that chat, guys. So here's what I want you to put in there right now. I would like you to put in there where you are coming from in the world, and if you want to go a little extra, what time it is, because I know that we are all over the world, and that's the best part. You are in an energetic container this weekend, an energetic container with a lot of intensity, and we're going to feel it all, okay? All over the world. We are spanning the globe. How incredible is that? And when we get that potency together, things become laser focused and laser results, okay? So look at this. India, Australia, Connecticut, Virginia, North Carolina, Switzerland, Seattle, Germany, Arkansas, San Francisco. Guys, we are spanning the planet. This is incredible. Okay. So I have a few tips for you. Okay, I have a few tips for you. This is the moment where you could be anywhere doing anything, but you're here with us. So you need to make the commitment, not to us, but to yourself. You need to be present. So turn your phones on Do Not Disturb, turn those laptops on Do Not Disturb, close out the Amazon carts. Prime days are over, okay? Click off all of those tabs. You signed up for this. There's a reason, even if you don't quite know the reason yet. I promise it's coming. So protect your time. Plan to be present, okay? As best you can. Now, I already said we're going to play full out. We're going to go all out in this. But here's what this means. It means every session, every activity, every breakout. How many people have been on a breakout in a Zoom before? Can you just let me see by the show of hands or your chat? Okay. So I used to be the breakout ducker. I used to, as soon as they'd say, okay, we're going to go to breakouts. Okay, I'm out. I'm going to go take a bathroom break. I'm going to go get a snack. I don't really want to talk to anybody. I'm here, but I didn't really want to be vulnerable. We're not going to do that this time. Again, you're here for a reason. So the breakouts are where you deepen what you're learning. It's kind of like when you start when the teacher, maybe in school, I don't know if you've ever had the experience where they say, okay, now it's your turn to teach it. As you speak your experiences through this, things are going to start locking in. So show up, because the accumulation effect is a real thing. So today, show up, be all out, be present, because tomorrow is going to build on today. Sunday is going to build on tomorrow. So every day, you're going to be adding up and building, accumulating, okay? So here's the thing. Plan to be here, because there is a can't miss session tonight, okay? Do your best to be here for the can't miss session. Is laser coaching with Oliver. How many would enjoy actually hearing the spiritual activator answer their question? Let me hear it. Let me see some hands. Let me see. Yeah. And you're going to have questions, okay? You're going to have questions. Okay. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Here is the thing. The chat, as much fun as we have, they are for the aha moments. Don't get distracted, okay? Don't get distracted. Let those become your breakthrough moments. So when you have an aha moment, that's where you put it in the chat, okay? Don't let it become a distraction. Now, how many of you are ready to bring the spiritual activator, Oliver Niño, out? Yeah? Okay, get the energy up. Get the energy up. Take one big deep breath, and we're going to bring out the spiritual activator.
Oliver is one of the most sought-after healers with a waiting list of over 600,000 people.
Dealt with some major celebrities. You get all those secret phone calls when they're in trouble.
Our next guest has worked with some of the biggest names like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oliver has been such an impactful person.
I don't even understand what happened, but he has changed me on a cellular level.
World-renowned celebrity spiritual advisor Oliver Niño is teaching others his secrets. Who are you helping, and what are people coming to you for?
I had a lot of grief. I'd lost my mother 6 years ago.
So I was on antidepressants 3 at a time for 28 years.
I've had 16 surgeries. I've had 4 strokes. I've had domestic violence, and I'm in constant pain.
Why am I not feeling love all the time? I am surrounded by it, but why am I not feeling it?
I always attracted the same relationships, and I'm just like, oh, why? Like, why does this keep happening in my life?
That's my purpose, is how do I alleviate suffering for people? How do I empower people? How do I help them find the light in the darkest moments?
Your heart is enormous.
It's been the biggest blessing I've ever received.
Such a beautiful thing to experience it, but also to see.
Talk us through, when you do a healing session, what it looks like and how you help.
When I meet people, a lot of the time chatting with them, it comes to me what I need to work on. I'm scanning all the areas of the body where there's blocks and removing them lovingly.
So you're cleansing the energy, is that right?
Yes.
My life has just been changed. I walk with clarity. I walk with purpose.
The tools that Oliver gave me, I healed myself, and I have had no medication since then.
I just sat back, relaxed, let you do what you do. Started crying. That next morning I woke up, literally just sat up on the side of the bed, and I stood up. My pain is like 90% gone, literally. I thought, what the heck is going on? I have goosebumps right now.
Now I feel like I'm actually going to be able to see the love. I'm going to be able to feel the love. I am love. Whatever he did to bring out this, whatever he's channeling, all the things, I don't know. I can't explain it. But to realize we are love. And I think now that I actually have a chance to feel love like I've always wanted. Like it's always been there. But now it's like I can actually feel it. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
I think 100% pure belief that everything that you ever want or need or is inside of you. Oliver just brings it out in you.
Oliver is the author of the #1 international best-selling book, Spiritual Activator. His goal is to reach 1 billion souls, and that's why he spends most of his time leading sold-out events with over 15,000 people from 80-plus countries.
I run an international business with my wife, and together we serve over 3 million students.
Philanthropist and author Mandy Moore
She helps people rewire their minds and emotions for happiness and abundance. It's exciting because not only do we do our purpose work together, not only do we do business together, not only do we do life together, but we also have kids that we raise. Not only do we help others heal, but we gotta heal within ourselves as well. Because the more we heal within ourselves, the deeper we can heal it within others.
You do need to be like at least 5% open. Give yourself a chance to believe.
It is the most life-changing, soul-thrilling experience. My soul needed this, and I feel like everybody needs this.
Okay. All right. How's everybody doing here? Can you guys see me and hear me do this? You guys can see me and hear me? Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. I'm so excited for this, y'all. I mean, we have over 100,000 of you joining us here for Thrive as an Empath event, right? And it's, for me, I'm super, super excited because I just know what you're about to learn, okay, over the next 3 days. And I know how powerful this is going to be. Right? And my goal is to give you guys the tools, mental tools, emotional tools, the practices, right, that have changed my life as an empath. All right? And curious, how many of y'all, this is the first time you guys are seeing me? First time. Okay? A lot of first-timers here. Amazing. Amazing. All right. So throughout these 3 days, we're going to get to know each other really, really well. You're going to know, my story. You're going to know, what drove me to do what I'm doing now. And you're also going to know what's possible as an empath. Because right now, if you're watching this, then chances are you're still, swirling in a little bit of the negative things that can happen or what an empath may experience. You haven't experienced the beautiful part of being an empath yet. Right? Because there's a lot of phases to being an empath. And earlier on, it's disempowering, right? It's disempowering, it's debilitating, it is heavy, right? And it takes a toll on you. And as you learn the tools, as you raise your vibration, as you get to master your energy, okay, you become a more empowered empath, right? And that's what we're going to go over in the next 3 days, right? Is really, how do you go from disempowered and debilitated to empowered, confident, free, and excited about life, right? Excited about life. And a lot of you guys here, you're tuning in. I can see my VIPs here on Zoom. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And hello, Facebook world, and also everybody in YouTube that's watching right now. If you're watching this also, comment in. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Where are you guys tuning in from? Because I know we're in over 100 different countries here, right? So tune in. Let me know, everybody. Where's everybody? Put it in the chats. Where are you tuning in from? So we can also send positive energy to everybody. Let's see here. We have, South Africa, Los Angeles, California, Mexico, Ireland, Switzerland, Dominican Republic, Boston, Canada, Australia, Hawaii. Let's see. Austria, Peru, Netherlands. All right. Vancouver Island. Let's see here. Kuwait, Belgium, India, New Zealand, Romania, Colombia, Amsterdam. Wow. Reno, Nevada. I used to actually live in Reno, Nevada. Slovakia, UK. All right. Let's see here. New Jersey, Sweden, Panama, Japan. Okay. Perfect. Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So here's the thing, all right? As an empath, how many of you all actually, you already know you're an empath and you're highly sensitive going into here? You just know. Yep. Yeah, and we're cheering you on because here's the thing, okay? It gets better as an empath. I wanted by the end of this 3-day event, you actually embrace, the gift of being an empath because it's a gift. But at the very beginning, you may feel like a curse when you don't have the tools, all right? So let me go over why now. Why now? Why, out of all the times, why is it important that you master this gift of being an empath? And the question is, I probably don't have to convince you of why now because you've probably been living life like, if you've been living life disempowered, on edge, debilitated, easily affected by other people, experiencing overwhelm, anxiety, frustration, and you're just highly sensitive, then you probably already know it's not a way to live life. And if given a choice, you would think, I wanted to change that yesterday. It needed to be solved yesterday, not any second longer. Right? Because the thing is, as an empath, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better until you do something, right? It really doesn't. It just progresses on and on and on, and it seems like everything just keeps piling up. And the thing is, the longer that it piles up against you, the harder it is to shift, typically, right? Unless you build enough momentum, like what we're doing in this 3-day, to just go up against it, right? And I'll tell you a story. Like for me, like I thought I was the only one as an empath, right? I didn't even know what empath was when I started my journey 20 years ago. I didn't know. I just thought there was something wrong with me, right? How many of you guys have felt that? Like people come and tell you, like, why are you so sensitive? Why are people always affecting you? Can't you just get over it, right? Toughen up. All these different things. Right? And it leads you to what? Leads you to be like, oh, is there something wrong with me? Maybe I'm just so sensitive. Maybe I should just isolate myself. Maybe I should just not be around people, right? If I'm burdening people with my sensitivity or if I'm getting too drained, maybe I should just hide from the world. But that isn't a solution either, right? Because as empaths, we thrive off of love and connection, right? But it's not what happens. When we're around people, it's like take, and we're drain. And we don't have any kind of self-control because we want to help so much that even though we're at our lowest, we still give, right? We still allow it to happen when we have nothing else to give. And the thing with that is, you have nothing left at the end of the day. You've given it your all, but here's the thing. Even when you've given it your all, people don't stop needing help or taking because they don't know that you've given it your all. Because as an empath, you put a brave face on, right? Like and people don't really know what we feel or what we're thinking at times until we reach our limit and we kind of snap a little bit. We get frustrated, we get angry, we get triggered. We're just like reacting because we've hit our limit, right? And that's when people typically know, but they don't know the build up to that, right? And as an empath, I remember one of the most liberating things was realizing that one, I'm not alone. Because when you're an empath, you think you're alone. Like I was like, I considered myself the black sheep of the family earlier on. That was my identity. I was the odd person. Like, I couldn't get along. People just knew I was different. Kind of grew up a little bit being bullied in school where I had to eat lunches, and not just by myself, but hiding in the bathroom stall so people can't find me because I'm just like, people were out to get me, right? Or they were just like out to hurt me. That was the belief. Right, and when I shifted that, everything changed. But my upbringing was that. My earlier story was that. It was just like highly sensitive. And when you're highly sensitive, people can pick up. And there's two types of people to pick up. People that want to just like take, and they don't seem like they're a threat because they just take until you have nothing left to give. And they might even be nice about it, right? And when you don't give, then they might guilt you or shame you or make you feel obligated for them. And you being a bleeding heart, you're going to give more because you just don't want to be a bad person, right? There's that. And there's the other side of it, the people that are straight up, they just take advantage of people who are empaths because they see it as weakness because the empath hasn't stepped into an empowered state. They're not confident yet. So people that see that, they're like, ooh, let me control that. Let me, and they get in this different space of like they're just wanting to control what they deem as weak, right? And the thing, what I realize is when you shift and step into the second phase and the second path of being an empath, all that goes away. right? Because you're gonna believe this. This might be news to you right now, but by the end of the 3 days, you're gonna believe that being an empath is one of the greatest gifts you can ever have, right? It's one of the best gifts. But unless you know that, you just think it's a curse, right? So part of this journey over the next 3 days is sharing with you how life can get better when you master it, right? So for example, I had one gal that I helped, and it was in about 2018/19, and she came to me, and she came to one of our workshops back when we were doing workshops, small workshops in person. And I remember when she came in, like she was in a cane. She was in a cane, and she was just so defeated. And you would look at her, and you just know that she'd experienced a whirlwind of pain in her life. And turns out, when I got to know her a little bit more during the workshop, she was like, I was like, what's the one thing that you want, I asked her, what's the one thing that you want to work on? And what she said was, the one thing I want to work on is being able to do a grocery store run. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes like, it's been close to 20 years, okay? And in 20 years, she hasn't been able to go to the grocery store and do a full shopping start to end, right? She typically goes there, and as she steps in, she goes into the first aisle, and not even halfway through the aisle, she absorbs everybody's, negative energy or intense energy, and she gets so overwhelmed, right? Extremely overwhelmed that she has to call a friend to pick her up, and then she goes home. And that's been the story of her life for 20 years. And if you think about that, that's like, and she's, she's gone help, and she's on different medications and, different diagnoses. And they told her, like, you know what? You have extreme social anxiety, and that's why, right? And she's not been able to fix it at all. So I was like, that's interesting. And I was like, you're an empath. And she's like, what's an empath, right? So over the course of that weekend, I shared with her, tips to protect her energy, right? And these are the same tips I'm going to be sharing with you. This specific technique that I shared with her, I'm actually going to share with you over the next 3 days. So, it's going to be exciting. I'm actually going to give you the techniques, right? So I shared that technique with her, and I didn't think anything of it, because when people come, I try not to have any expectations. That's like, I'm going to surrender. Whatever spirit high is good of all. I'm here to serve. Let me give you the tool. Let's see what you do with it, right? So I gave her the tool, the technique, and I didn't hear anything from her. Nothing. And next thing you know, like several weeks later, the team was like, did you hear what happened? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, did you hear? It's like, what? She's like, this person, okay? Like, apparently, yeah, and I was like, and I started looking at my messages, because my messages, like, they run deep. And she had messaged me, and I'm like, oh, wow, she messaged me. And the message she told me was this: Oliver, you're never going to believe what happened. I'm like, what? It's like, she said, I went to the grocery store, and I did an entire shopping, start to end, and I felt nothing, right? No anxiety, no buildup, no frustration, no overwhelm, just complete, just like, not even peace. It was just like neutrality, right? And I was like, that's amazing, right? And then a few weeks later, she went to another workshop, and I saw her, and I was like, I couldn't put my finger on it. And I'm like, there's something different about her, but I don't know what it is, right? So I kept teaching. I'm like, okay, she's like, yeah, she's smiling bigger. She looks like she's calmer, right? She's like, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I kept teaching. And halfway through day 2, I saw her, she stood up, and she walked to the bathroom. Then I realized, I looked at everybody, I'm like, is it just me? Or did she go to the bathroom without her walker? And true enough, when she came back, she had no walker. And I'm like, what's going on? Right? And she's like, yep, she's, Oliver, I've gone off my meds. I'm not using my walker. And and I was like, great. It's amazing. I was in shock, because at that point in time, I had a theory, that as an empath, you also get affected physically. Because as an empath, when you're absorbing everything, it gets to a point to where you absorb so much if you're not releasing it, you don't know what to do with it, it starts affecting you physically. Your physical body starts to take a toll, right? Because you think about it, if all the energy is absorbed, it has to go somewhere, right? And especially if you're not used to releasing that energy or clearing it or protecting it. It's like a pressure cooker, right? You're going to start to be affected not only on the energetic level, not only mentally, emotionally, but also physically, right? So when that happened, I'm like, that is crazy. I'm like, and it's one of those things where like mental note, confirmation that, things can get better, when you have the tools to protect yourself. And then we didn't hear anything from her at all. And then fast forward, I think it was like 6 months later, she had sent a message to the team. This is when I heard from the grapevine, because the team sent me the message, and she's like, she actually found the love of her life, and she's getting married. And because one of the things that she attracted in the past were negative people in her life over and over again. But as an empath, like, as she stepped into that, they no longer could show up because she was a different version of herself, and she attracted the love of her life, right? And she's happily married now, living life, and hasn't looked back. Right? But if you look at that, I'm sharing this story with you to show you what's possible, because a lot of you here, you've been an empath, and it affects you not only mentally, emotionally, but also physically. Like, real quick, show of hands, how many of you here, being an empath affects you physically, your physical body, pains, your drain, your adrenals, your pain in walking in different areas of the body? Let me see. Okay, quite a bunch. And everybody else on Facebook and YouTube, you can just comment in below. It's a lot. It's a lot of people, because it does affect you physically. It really does, right? And the goal here, again, is to give you the tools so during these 3 days, you can feel the difference of what it feels like to not take stuff on anymore, all right? Because as an empath, everything is stacked against you, and you cannot outrun it. You're going to learn today. You think empath is just being around somebody, and when you're around them, you absorb it? Nope. You're going to learn today that it actually goes beyond that. You think you can hide in your house and not be affected by other people? I thought too. It can happen, even when you're not around people. I'm going to share that with you a little bit later, and what to do about it as well. Because as an empath, you cannot outrun and escape the gift. It's who you are. It just gets intense through life, right? And you need to know how to master it. Because when you master it, you're going to wake up tomorrow feeling different. You're going to look forward to life, and you're going to be like, wow, this is a superpower I didn't even know I had. Now how's life going to be when you step into all that you're made of and you embrace everything that you've got, right? So that's my goal. So you wake up excited, confident, even grateful for being an empath. Because with every gift, okay, there's always the dark side and the light side of it. The dark side happens when you don't know that you have a gift and you're in lower vibrations, which I'll talk about later, right? And you experience the low and dark parts of those gifts. And a lot of people spend their entire lives in that area. But when you break through and break free, the next area is the light part, the empowered part, to where okay, your gifts, why it's, the important parts of it, how it works. You can use it to build your life, to attract the things that you want to you, right? And you walk through life way more empowered, when you have that figured out, right? So that's the second part, and that's what I call the empowered empath. You go from disempowered and debilitated, accessing the darker parts of your gift, to being awakened, empowered, confident, right? And why I want you to stay till the end. Okay, this is 3 days. I know we have over 100,000 people here. It's amazing that signed up for this challenge, right? And I made it for free, right? Because the goal is I wanted to reach more people. Yes, there's some people here that you guys join my VIP so that I can see your faces. Like you can ask questions and we can have bonus stuff, which is amazing, right? But I made it for free because here, it's what the world needs. It's what I wish I had when I started out, right? And for me, I wanted to make sure that every single soul that shows up here, okay, you leave with your life completely changed. So for me, my goal is impact, deep transformational impact. So that's why, the things that I'm about to teach you are the things that I normally only teach in my live healing events. And in my live healing events, people pay anywhere from $3,000 or $5,000 or more to join those live events in person or virtually, right? And you're going to get a lot of the most powerful practices and techniques for free here for the next few days, right? Because again, my goal, and I told my team this, is like, amazing. Some of you guys, will do VIP. Some of you guys, because of this challenge, you're going to work with us more and do more stuff with us in the future because you love what we have to offer and you resonate with it. Amazing. And some of you, this is your only stop, right? You're going to do this, and you might not do anything with us. And that's also amazing. Because my goal is, I don't care which path you go. I want to leave you transformed either way. I want to give you the tools. I want to give you as much as I can. So after our interaction here over the next 3 days, you have the tools, and you can use them at any time, and you can just feel that life is better, and that's the goal. Everything else is bonus for me, right? But that's my intention, right? And here's the thing: is when I'm teaching, the team knows is I'm normally teaching for 10, 12, sometimes 14, 14 hours a day, and some of my programs. They're like 2 months, 4 months, or a year long, right? To where I have a lot of time to really share the concepts and the principles. Because this thing gets really, really deep, right? So my challenge is this. I've got 2, maybe 3 at tops hours a day over the next 3 days to transform your life, right? So it's one of the shortest things I've ever done, right? But my goal is to make it really, really impactful. So a lot of it is condensed and has a lot of the best of whatever I can comfortably squeeze in over the next 3 days, okay? So here's the thing that I want you guys to do, right? I want you guys to be a little bit engaged because I know a few things. When you guys are engaged, the lesson hits deeper, okay? And you remember it. Second is when you're engaged and you're sharing in the chats, you don't know whose life you're going to impact. You don't know who you're gonna inspire, who you're gonna motivate. And third is I read all the chats. I'm not reading it now, but after each day, I'm looking at the Zoom chats because we have a transcript, and I'm looking at the Facebook, the YouTube, the chats, and I'm looking at what everybody posts, right? So what I want you to do is this: as I'm teaching, as I'm sharing, as you're learning the principles, the techniques, and the lessons, okay? If something stands out, comment #breakthrough. Or #aha, okay? And give your breakthrough. Write it down. Share what it is that's your favorite part. And it does a few things. One, it lets me know what you like. So over the next 3 days, as I'm reading them, I can teach more of it, right? More of it, right? And second is it inspires a lot of people. And that's why I want to reward it. Because when you inspire people, when you lift people up, I want you to know that at the highest levels is gets rewarded beyond belief. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick winners every single day. I'm gonna announce them, and the winners I'm gonna be announcing, okay, are people that are the most active in the chats, in the Facebook group. You're posting your breakthroughs, your ahas. If you're getting results, if you're getting shifts, you're sharing them, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'll probably pick 2 a day, or maybe more, and I'm gonna give you. And I have this thing. It's called the 1 day healing experience, right? And it's amazing. It's 1 day full healing virtually. We have one coming up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gift it. I'm gonna gift that to at least 2 people every single day, okay? And to win, right, or to have the opportunity to win and to have an entry is just you're commenting your breakthroughs, you're commenting your ahas, you're sharing that in the Facebook group or here in the chat, right? Just commenting, and my team's looking every single day, and we're gonna pick winners. Cool? Sound good? All right. Awesome. There you go. Look at those chats. Amazing. All right. Chat's flying by so fast over here. I love it. Empaths to healers. There you go. Oh, you're pretty advanced, huh? All right. So, I love that you guys commented that. Empath to healers, because that literally is a big shift. When you realize as an empath, and I was going to go into this like the later on, day 2, day 3, but you said it right there, empath to healers. An empath, typically, that's one part of your story. But when you step into your gift, you're going to realize you're an empath because you're a healer. You take on people's stuff, and it makes them feel better. It's like you're awakening to that reality that, yes, you are a healer as an empath. That is the true identity of it. Once you fully step into it, if you choose to, right? And here's the thing. My promise is this, okay? Over the next 3 days, like, you're going to have much more knowledge, tools, and resources than a lot of paid programs out there when it comes to being an empath, right? Because I feel like this should be common knowledge. This should have been taught to us when we were kids, right? Or it's not something that you have to buy your way through. It's why I'm like, I want to make it for free. I want to give the tools away for free as much as I can here, so you can at least experience and feel what it's like to be yourself, to feel your authentic energy and not have to take on from everybody else. So over the next 3 days, you're going to learn how to protect your energy from others. And if you absorb energy from others, how do you release it so you're not affected by it, right? And that's an important thing. And that's probably over, I think it's tomorrow or day 3. Like, typically when I'm doing these things, I'm in the moment. Yes, I've got some notes here and there, but a lot of the times I deviate because I'm tapping into every single one of you's energies from wherever you are and figuring out, based on the chats and based on what I feel energetically, what the group needs, right? But you're going to learn how to protect your energy so you're not taking on other people's stuff, right? And you're going to learn how to release negative energy that you've absorbed from others, right? And the third thing is higher level thing is you're going to learn how to master your vibration, right? And when you master your vibration, you're going to be in such a high space to where negativity and negative people can't even find you. They don't even show up. Or if they do, you're so empowered that it doesn't matter. Okay, that mountain becomes a molehill. It's like very, very small. Like, you're like, meh. It's like just walking down the street. Like, it doesn't even affect you because you become stronger in your gifts, in your energy, and as an empath, right? So that's my intention over the next 3 days. All right, let me go over here and talk about the 3 types of empaths. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen so you guys can see this, right? And I'm going to give you a moment to screenshot this or take a picture of this. 3 types of empaths. Knower, feeler, and embodier. Now, I want to go over what these are. And as I'm going over this, okay, I want you guys to comment and let me know which one you are. You can be one, you can be more, right? But there's 3 types of empaths, right? Knower, feeler, and embodier. So knower is you just know what people are going through, right? Maybe you walk past by them and you're like, yeah, they're off. They're feeling sad, or there's something off with them, and you just know that there's something that's affecting them, right? You just know. They're going through something. You know, on a very like mental level, right? You just know. You don't know how you know, but you just know. You're like, oh yeah, they're off, right? How many of y'all are knowers? When someone's off, when someone's not feeling well, when something's going on in their life, even if they put a smile on their face, you just know something's off. Okay? So there's that, right? Knower. Second level of it, which gets way more intense, is feeler. Feeler. And as a feeler, you feel whatever emotions they're feeling. Like your body releases actual chemicals and hormones to mimic whatever they're feeling. So it could be literally you're in a grocery store line and you're checking out, and 3 rows down, or in the line, there's somebody who's extremely anxious. What ends up happening, as an empath, there's a lot of different ways that somebody can affect you. One is auric field, and what that means is that as we're energetic beings in the human body, and yes, we're electrical in nature, but we're also energetic in nature, to where we have auric fields. And think about auric field; it can be, it can be 3 feet, 6 feet, 18 feet, 20 feet around you, but that's like your energetic skin, if you will. And some people that are more sensitive, they've got bigger fields than others, right? So what ends up happening is everybody's got this energetic field. I mean, we call it our personal bubble, right? But in reality is that personal bubble can be really, really big or really, really small, right? And if you think about it, like if you have your own personal bubble and around you is somebody else with their own personal bubble, think about it around you. When those interact, right, there's an energetic transference, energetic exchange, to where if you're sensitive, if you're empathic, sometimes whatever they're thinking, you know what they're thinking, but, you also at times know what they're feeling. So when those two energetic fields interact, next thing you know, their emotions become your emotions, right? So it can be debilitating because you don't have any context for it. You go from 0 to 60 real quick, and there's no trigger. There's no there's no stimuli that you can perceive, and you just think you're going nuts. You're like, how am I going from peaceful and calm to overwhelmed, anxious to frustrated? Nothing happened except for that happened. But they don't teach us that. Therefore, we think we're just going nuts. And then if we don't do anything about it, what happens is that kind of builds up. Because what ends up happening is you're feeling that way. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling frustrated. It builds up, right? Next thing you know, what ends up happening? You're going to take that home with you. And it affects the way you make decisions, the way you think, and affects your relationships, your health, your wealth, and it goes and it forwards to, if you don't do anything about it, you sleep with it, the next day you wake up and you're feeling off and you have a little bit of that. And since you have that, it becomes almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start attracting more of that because you're in a vibration to where you're already off. Therefore, you attract more of that because that's how vibration works. You attract things that exist on the vibration that you're on, right? So it becomes a spiral until you interrupt it, right? So feeler is like you feel what others are feeling around you. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm just going to escape this. That means I just don't have to show up. I'm just going to be in 4 walls in my house, and I'm not going to go out. I'll be fine. I'm not going to be affected by other people, right? And one day, my theory was proven wrong. When I was, because I did that. I'm like, I'm just not going to go out. I'm just going to stay at my house, and I'm going to avoid seeing people. And not only was that tough and hard for me, because it's just not a way to live life, right? Protecting and hiding. It doesn't work. How do I know? You're going to learn later down the road that if you're an empath and you're highly sensitive, your auric field can be as big as your entire street or city or sometimes even the world, to where you can be at your house and you're feeling everything happening in your city. Like how many of you all, you're at your house, but when something happens in the world to where it affects the sentiment of the world, everybody's sad or angry or anxious in the world. You feel it. World events, city events, country events affect you, right? There you go. We cannot escape it because as an empath, we are sensitive or we're in tune to energy itself, right? I'll give you an example. There was a time, and I think it was, 15 years ago now, right? Because I started out, when I started out, I didn't start out as a healer. I was actually a closet healer. I was hiding for the longest time. Didn't want to be judged. But when I started out, my first love was entrepreneurship. So, I built businesses, sold businesses. Like, and that was for me what excited me the most. So before going in here and doing my purpose right now and going all in, like my entire past has been businesses and entrepreneurship, right? And I remember there was a time to where I finally felt free, and I was like, I felt free. I'm not worried about bills. Like, I'm not worried about money. I'm good. Like, and it was a very liberating feeling of like, I'm good. I'm free. I have no worries. It's amazing, right? So I knew the emotions that I was feeling on a daily basis, and it was awesome. It was excitement. I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow. Maybe I was a little bit frustrated when something didn't work out in business, but typically that frustration was met with more motivation to solve it back then. And I remember out of nowhere, this fear hit me, and I was all of a sudden feeling anxious about bills and finances. And the thoughts that were coming in were like, wow, how am I going to make ends meet? This is too much. Will I run out of money? I'm like, this is odd, because there's nothing in my external life that should make me think or feel that way, but why am I feeling that way, right? And I remember thinking to myself, this is really, really odd. And that was the first time where I was thinking, like, did something happen? Am I ignoring stuff? Did my unconscious pick up on a bill? I don't know. I just didn't. It seemed like to me I was regressing. And then 15 minutes later, I get a call, right, from my mom back then. And she was worried and anxious about bills, right? And I felt it. Why did I feel it? Because another way that people can affect you if you're an empath is when they think about you with strong emotions, they typically attach an energetic cord from them to you when they think about you with strong emotions. Or when you think about somebody with strong emotions, it happens too. And when an energetic cord is attached from them to you, that's almost as if like your energetic bubble is interacting with their energetic bubble. You're feeling whatever they're feeling, or whatever they're thinking, you're thinking, right? And I thought to myself, wow, mom had this fear, was thinking about it intensely, and thought about me that I felt it. She thought about me because typically I'm the one that helps everybody in the family, and I love doing it, right? So she's thinking about me as a solution, but I felt it, right? And that for me kind of like broke my entire paradigm of like, my gosh, as an empath, I can't get a break. I could be outside. I can be in my own private island or on top of the mountains. God forbid my mom thinks about me. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to be, oh my gosh, I need to be further isolated, but I can't because it doesn't work. And how many of you guys have felt that? People can affect you even when they're not around you, okay? And this happens because how often have you guys had an experience, all right, to where you're going by your day, and somebody pops up in your head randomly, right? You haven't thought about them for a long time. They pop in your head, and the next thing you know, they call, they text, they email, you bump into them, and you're like, that's kind of odd. You pop up in my dream or in my head, and I haven't talked to you, and next thing you know, I'm seeing you, you're getting a call or an email, and you're like, wow, right? How does it happen to you guys? Isn't it crazy? You can't outrun being an empath. You got to face it. You got to learn it. You got to master it. It's the biggest gift you can ever have if you learn how to master it. How many of y'all are feelers here, by the way? You feel things intensely. Let's celebrate it. Let's get used to celebrating it. It's the biggest gift. We're going to realize later down the road, right? When you're embrace being an empath, being empaths, here's the things, okay? I'm going to drop this seed here. I wasn't planning on till a little bit later today, but I'm going to drop it right now. There's always a balance to life, always. People forget. It's more than one way. So here's the thing. If you can receive and absorb things deeply and feel things as an empath, what do you think is the reverse of that? You can project things. You have the ability to project things deeply as well. And when it comes to manifesting, that's a great tool. Because when you can project a lot of energy the right way at higher vibrations, manifesting is fast, right? If you master it. Now, here's the last part of it all. Third type of empath is embodier. This one threw me for a loop. Completely crazy, okay? And as an embodier, you feel what they're feeling on a physical level. Physical level. Okay, I remember the story. I tell it a lot because it's one of my most eye-opening experiences. It's like, and this was back several years ago. I was in Sedona. We used to do a lot of events in Sedona. And I remember the team was like, you got to do a photo shoot. All the pictures that you have on your website, they're outdated. And when I stepped into the healing, becoming a healer at the beginning, even though I knew all the marketing, I knew all the business stuff, I put them all aside because I'm like, I just want to be a healer. I don't really care about the marketing anymore. I just want to do what I do. So I ignored it for a long time, and the team was like, well, you've got to just at least do a photo shoot so we have new pictures to put on the site. I'm like, fine. So I was like, we scheduled a photo shoot. And I remember the photographer was going to pick me up, take me to all these different sites in Sedona. That was amazing. And we're going to do a photo shoot. So day of, she comes. And I remember she picks me up. I step into her car. And within minutes of stepping into her car, my left knee starts to hurt. And I remember that kind of pain because it hurts like I did a deadlift in the gym with carrying weights that I shouldn't even been playing with, and I did it wrong. And that's what it felt like. And I was like, this is crazy how this knee all of a sudden, is starting to buckle. I'm like, one, I haven't been to the gym in about a month at that point. I'm like, I need to get back. I haven't been. And I'm like, there's no stairs. There are no stairs, okay, in my house, right? And it's not like I've been carrying anything heavy. But it was just aching, and it got really, really bad, right? But I was like, I don't want to show any of that stuff. I'll be fine. So I kind of sucked it in, like, poker face, and I did it. And some of the locations that we went to required 5 or 10 minutes of a hike, which typically it's fine. Like, when I'm in Sedona, some of the hikes that I do is an hour and a half one way, 3 hours back and forth. So I'm like, 10 minutes shouldn't be an issue. But for my knee, it was definitely an issue. And I was like, gosh, hopefully these photos don't show me in pain because it really sucks, right? So 2 hours felt like an eternity. And afterwards, the photo shoot was done. And, we get back to the car. And I was in the car. I was thinking to myself, okay, let's look at this. I'm like, I didn't have this pain earlier this morning. I step into the car, and now I have the pain. That means it happened sometime in the last 2.5 hours. What caused it? And then suddenly, my training kicked in. Okay, and I asked myself, this is the question that you should ask yourself at all times whenever something comes up. Whenever an intrusive thought comes up, whenever any kind of emotion comes up that's debilitating, whenever any kind of random pain comes up, it's like, I want you to ask yourself this question. Is this even mine? This question will free you more than you know, right? In the middle of all of it. And here's the thing. If it's yours, own it, shift it, heal it. I'm not saying that, you're here deflecting emotions left and right. If it's yours, let's heal it, let's own it, let's do it fast. I'm a big believer of that. I'm not here to spiritually bypass. But if it's not yours, right, then don't let it run and ruin your life, because it will, unchecked. So for me, the biggest thing is, like, whenever it comes to, ask yourself, is this even mine? Question number 1. Follow-up question is, whose is it? Who am I attached to? Who am I tapped into? Right? Second question. So I knew that, but sometimes when you know stuff, it's a lot harder for it to kick in. Just because you know it doesn't mean you can implement it. At intense times when life is happening, you forget it. You forget that and everything just happens, and you're in the middle of it. right? It's like when someone says, I'm not going to fall for narcissists or people that are negative for me or toxic. Next thing you know, you're in a friendship or a relationship, a few days, few months in, and you know it, but you ignore the red flags because you're just, there's some, you just, for some reason, you just can't get out of it, right? So same thing, I remember it came up, and I'm like, no, this can't be. And the next thing, my mind was like, you got to ask. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to be the weird one. I'm not going to ask. That's going to be so weird asking, okay, this person. So I was like, I built up the courage. And I'm like, okay. Then I took a breath, looked at her, and I asked, this is going to be a weird and random question, I said. But is your left knee hurting? And she looks at me like all shocked, and she goes like, yes. She goes like, I've played contact sports, high-impact contact sports growing up. And she had a really, really bad injury in high school. And she said, there are days to where it flares up worse than it ever has. And today is that day. And I'm like, all right, good to know. And I explained to her what an empath was. And she was like, that's interesting, right? And I'm like, okay, great. And then I remember, we had some laughs. She dropped me off. I walked to the house. The car drove off, and within minutes, pain was gone. Gone. Because proximity, but also I called it. I knew what it was. A lot of times when you call it. Not all the time, but a good number of times, when you call it out and be like, is this even mine? Who does this belong to? Then you just naturally process it to where you detach from it. It no longer affects you. And if that doesn't work, you work on clearing and releasing the energy, which we're going to talk about, and I'm going to teach you practices over the next 3 days, right? But it's crazy because I was an embodier. I'm actually all three, knower, feeler, embodier, and it wasn't a way to live life. But now, looking back, I won't have it any other way because I know the power in it, right? And how many of you all are embodiers here? Curious? Raise your hands. I celebrate you. Don't be afraid. How often can you actually go out and tell and be celebrated by saying that you're an empath, right? Typically, when you're around people, they're like, oh, you're just too sensitive, right? You're too sensitive. They're walking on eggshells around you. You don't, and it's just one of the things where you're like, no, we got to redefine that. Okay? And those are the three types of empaths: knower, feeler, embodier. Okay? And here's the thing. Being an empath is your greatest superpower. But right now, when you're not healed, when you don't know how that gift works, how to use it, it can feel like it's your greatest weakness. Okay? Because you've got a unhealed empath and a healed empath where you're empowered. When you are unhealed, okay, as an empath, manifesting is slow. How many of you all here have tried to manifest, but it's slow, it's inconsistent? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You get frustrated, but sometimes it works, or maybe it works. Let me give it but it's just not consistent. When it really matters, it doesn't work. Or maybe it kind of works. You're like, ooh, I want to attract more money, right? And then money comes, next thing you know, the car breaks down. Bills show up. You're like, gosh, it's gone as soon as it came in. Or you're like, I want love. And you're like, okay. And someone shows up. You're like, this is it. They're the one. He's the one. She's the one, or whatever, right? And then they're great. Next thing you know, when the honeymoon phase is over, they change. And you're like, wow, I got fooled. It's a bait and switch. It's like a catfishing, but energetically and emotionally, right? They waited 2, 3 months, 6 months in, and they're a different person. What happened? What's going on? Why, what? And you just can't figure out. You're manifesting, but it comes with problems and issues, right? And here's what happens here's the thing. The way manifesting works in a nutshell, right? The Cliff Note version of it is when you're in a high vibration, okay, manifesting is fast. Because in higher vibrations, thoughts turn into things fast. Because you're able to generate a lot of energy to what you want. But when you're an empath, people are attached to you, draining you, affecting you. It throws you off your element. It lowers your vibration. Therefore, at the end of the day, your energy is spent, okay, on just dealing with the things that you've absorbed, that you have nothing left for yourself at the end of the day. And you're expecting to manifest fast when, manifesting happens fast when you have 80, 90, or 100% of your energy to give to that one thing. It happens fast. But when everyone is draining and taking stuff from you and it lowers your vibration, okay, next thing you know, you got maybe, if you're lucky, 5% or 1% for yourself, which isn't enough. At the end of the day, how are you going to manifest with that when you've got nothing? You can't. That's why it's slow, because you're giving everything away, and the thing that you have is you're dealing with the things that you're processing. You're just trying to stay afloat. You can't even move forward, right? So manifesting is slow, typically, when you're an empath and unhealed, right? Second is you attract narcissists, toxic and negative people. How many of y'all here, like if you look at your life, you attract toxic, negative, narcissistic people in your life? They take, they drain, energy vampires. You just don't know where they come from. And you're like, is this just what it is in life? And you've got a big heart, but it's hard to have a big and open heart when people are always taking. You start having a love-hate relationship with people. I like you. I love people, but I don't like people right now. I want to hide. I want to be by myself because you just can't. You can't take it. You can't trust that people aren't going to take from you, right? Because here's the thing. Here's what happens. As an empath, you called it. That's the big one. You're also you're healing others. You don't know it. So when you're around people as an empath, what do? You feel what they're feeling, but what you don't realize is you take on what they're feeling. And when you take something from someone, they don't have it anymore or as much of it. So when you have people that have heavy stuff and you're around them and you're an empath and you take, guess who feels lighter? They do, right? So what's being built up here, consciously or unconsciously, for the most part, it's actually unconscious, is people that have dark and heavy stuff, friends, or people in your intimate life, family, relationships, and in workspace. When they're around an empath and they feel better around an empath, the empath in a way becomes kind of like a drug in a way. They're like, oh, being around them makes me feel good. So you just get used to their feeling good around you. They don't know that they're dumping stuff on you, that you're taking it on as an empath. They don't know that, right? So next thing you know, you're attracting more and more and more of them because more and more people feel better around you, right? And here's the thing. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because as you take stuff that's not yours, guess what happens? It puts you in that vibration, a similar vibration of the thing that you just absorbed. And when you're in that vibration, guess what? More of that is available in that vibration and finds you, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's why, as an empath, there's a lot of sometimes physical issues, or you're feeling drained, exhausted, at the end of the day, irritated because you have nothing left to give and people still want stuff from you. And it takes a toll on your body to where it just physically you shut down, emotionally shut down, mentally you're done. But guess what? Even when all that happens, life doesn't stop, does it? Negative people are not going to be like, oh, they're done. Let me not attach to them. Nope. It still happens, right? And that's why, as an empath, you feel debilitated, and you're like, something's got to change. But the reality is, here's the thing. On the flip side of that is when you're able, a healed empath, an empowered empath, when you have the tools, when you protect your energy, when you know what you're doing, it's a complete opposite. It's like, again, what did I say at the very beginning? There's always more than one side of the story. If you can receive deeply, you can also give deeply, right? So if manifesting is slow, manifesting can also be fast. Because when you're a healed empath and you're not taking on all the stuff anymore, guess what? All your energy is not going towards the other stuff. It goes towards you. Therefore, you have that energy to create whatever you want. Manifesting is faster when all your energy is not being lent to 10,000 different people, throughout the day, right? It just goes to what you want, therefore manifesting is faster, right? And what ends up happening as a healed empath, as an empowered empath, is your vibrations way higher. Again, because you're experiencing beautiful things in life, amazing emotions, right? To where when you do that, next thing you know, you're in higher vibration, and on higher vibrations, you're attracting the right people into your life at the right time, right? And here's the thing, okay? You also feel rejuvenated. Because instead of feeling drained and all your energy being emptied and people still, attached to you, that's there. And when that energy is there, you're not lending it. It's rejuvenating you. It's fueling you. You feel good. Okay, you feel good as an empath. And I wanted to balance it out because, again, empaths typically, when you hear the term empath or when you look at your life, it might have a bad rap or you just see the negative things. And I'm not saying don't. Right? Because sometimes it just comes up and it's in your face and it's unavoidable. But what I'm saying is expand it a little bit. Let's be a little bit more accurate to where, yes, it can suck as an empath. Right? And I'm leading you to the reality. It can suck as an empath. It can be okay as an empath. And eventually you get to a place where, like, I love being an empath because of all the benefit that comes with it. Right? And I have to get you there. But at the very beginning, I have to show you, okay, yes, it sucks. It can be okay. And it can get better. And it can be the best thing known to man, right? And through the next 3 days, I want to show you that because it's definitely more than one part to the story, okay? So as an empath here, a lot of you guys, you are at the edge of being an empath, and you've reached your limit, right? And you know you've reached your limit when you are frustrated, you get triggered easily, you're angry, and you're just like on edge. Okay, and this is what happens when you reach what I call empathic overload, to where you've reached your limit, you're beyond your limit, you're overheating, but because you're overheating doesn't mean the world stops. It keeps going, and people take, and you have nothing left to give, and people don't stop taking, right? And when this happens, what ends up happening is you resort to what? A lot of times you resort to numbing or feeling better. So, and there's no judgment in this, because here's the thing: you weren't giving the tools on how to deal with it, so you do at times whatever is available to feel better. That means chocolate, sweets, alcohol. Sometimes like binge watching, binge eating. You're looking for things to numb you. You work. You isolate. You hide, right? And you do this because at least it makes you feel better at the moment. And again, no shame, no guilt. I've been through it, right? And it's and the reason why I say no shame and no guilt, because it's not like somebody taught you of empath and energy and how it affects you. It just comes into your life, it completely turns it upside down, debilitates you, and you have no resources to deal with it. So you do what's available to you. And that's why I'm like, don't blame yourself. You haven't been given the resources and the tools. When you learn the resources and the tools, then you have options. You have options in how you want to deal with it, right? But for now, you didn't have that before. So when you realize this, don't be too harsh and heavy on yourself. Just be like, okay, amazing. Now you know, right? And you may be feeling and doing some of these right now, but there's a better way. You can be healed, okay? And that is the reason that you found yourself here. Because you're probably ready to shift your reality. Because a healed and empowered empath is for me, it's one to look forward to because it changes everything. Okay, and the solution is to master your energy. Because when you master your energy, you master your vibration. And your vibration affects your entire reality. It affects who you attract in your life, what shows up, how easy things are, how fast they are, or how slow it is, how much negativity you attract, right? And how debilitating life is. And as an empath, vibration is the one thing that affects you the most, right? So when you master it, everything changes, right? So let's shift gears for a second and talk about vibration, right? Vibration, as an empath, I don't want you to be overwhelmed with so many different things. I want to give you the thing. Master your energy, you master your vibration, right? And when you master your vibration, that's where everything changes. You live an empowered life. And as an empath, vibration is like a TV channel, okay? it dictates what you experience and what you attract in your life. It's what it is. So, for example, if you're, as an empath, let's say you're tuned into the horror channel on TV, right? Then everything that you see there, from the actors to the script to the music to the storyline, everything is designed to produce fear. So if you're tuned in to the horror channel and you're expecting something light, something funny, and you're expecting that all the time, you're going to be deeply disappointed. Because, yeah, they might have those elements in there, but it's less than 5%. A majority of it is geared for fear and all the feelings that show up in a horror channel. And a lot of times people are like, I want something better in this channel. But you fight, and the longer that you try, the harder you try, it doesn't change a thing. Because it's simply not available on that channel. It's not what it's meant for. So rather than expecting something different from a channel that's already established, it's easier, to just change the channel. Because in a different channel, there's a channel out there that has everything that you want, and that's what happens most of the time. Right? And that's what changing the vibration is. And I'll tell you a story right here, because this is one of the things that kind of solidified in me, right, this whole vibrational thing. It actually sold me on why vibration matters the most. And I remember this because my wife, Mandy, and I, and how many of you guys have heard of my wife, Mandy? Just curious. Right? So she's an author. She teaches manifesting, and she's just she's just a master at it. And I remember earlier on in our journey, we lived in Dallas, Texas, and it was the beginning of her business. And I remember she was kind of like still fine-tuning, standing in her light and speaking her truth. And it was very, very, it was very difficult for her back then. And I remember there was an opportunity for her to talk to one of her, female friends and speak her truth. And if she did that, it would have freed her female friend of so much heaviness and pain and fear that she was feeling. Right? So Mandy knew, okay, if I speak my truth, it can help her. But that specific truth was so hard to speak, because she felt like it wasn't her place. It should come from somebody else, right? Why does she have to be the bearer of bad news? But she had felt that urge to, let me speak my truth. And at that moment, she didn't. She was afraid. So she held back, and she was fearful, and that catapulted her to a lower vibration. Looking back, I know, because what happened next was absolutely madness, right? Next thing you know, 4 to 5 people, and you guys know this, there's some people in your life to where you're like, I can only handle you in holidays, or 1 time a year, or 3 times a year, or hopefully never. Maybe we can just every once in a while be polite and like each other's Facebook comments or whatever, right? There's some people that you just like, they're just too much, they affect you, they drain you, they're negative, and you don't want to fully cut them out in your life, so you restrict the amount of time you have around them, right? And typically, they don't all show up. But in this scenario, all 5 of them showed up within an hour or 2 of her not speaking her truth. They all showed up, right? And here's the thing. They're very nice. They don't show up empty-handed, right? When they show up, what do they bring with them? Problems. They bring the problems. I'm going through this. This is happening, and all these different things. Right. Next thing you know, I was in it, and again, it's easier saying it now because I'm in a higher level where I can see it. Back then, you're swirling in it, right? You're obligated to help. They're tugging on your heartstrings. You're there. You're feeling the pain. How could you be so insensitive to not hear them out all at the same time and drop everything you're doing, because they need you with their problems. So that's what happened, and they all had issues. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of issues. You guys didn't hold back. Right? And that's not the only thing. Because back then, I remember, and here's the thing, the universe, God, higher powers, the universe, angels, whatever you believe in, right? because everybody here has different beliefs. Okay, we all, have signs, ways that our higher power communicates to us, and sometimes it if you're not going to listen, it's going to choose things that are going to get your attention, right? So for Mandy back then, what got her attention? Bills and money, because she was still starting her business, right? So now, when this happened, not only did her savior, caretaker part come in of let me help them, which is what justifies that. Let me help all these people. It kicked in. It was in high gear, so it was hard to break, right? Next thing you know, as that was happening, bills were showing up. And she was like, this is crazy. She's getting bills that are showing up, emails of bills that are she's like, this is coming from nowhere. And all of a sudden, the reality shifted really, really quickly from us being calm, enjoying, that day to all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. When it rains, it pours, and it's one problem after another. Bills, people coming up with problems and negativity, and I'm like, this is overwhelming. That's how you know you shifted in vibration, because a lot of times it happens really quick. When you ask yourself, how do you solve it? You might think to yourself, okay, let me help them with their problem. Let me fix the bill. Let me do all those different things. What it does, it just solidifies the vibration, because it's not what got you there in the first place. Okay? It is, it is why are all these things showing up? The reality is something happened, and it changed your vibration, your channel, from one that was high to one that was low. Right? So in this point in time, what changed? Let me tell you. When she didn't speak her truth, she blocked that, okay, and she had fear, that was enough to completely change her vibration. So, luckily, we kind of talked about it a little bit when we caught the pattern. Because sometimes you're not going to catch it. And it could have gone on for days and days and weeks and years, still it's your life. But luckily, we were blessed enough to figure out the pattern hours into it to where we're like, you know what? Something changed. What is it? And she realized that's what it was. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to speak my truth. I'm just going to do it. Right? And it was funny because as she was saying that, the person she was going to speak her truth to was calling her up. Right? I was like, oh gosh, our phones are listening to us. Just kidding, right? She's calling us up, right? And then she picked the phone up and she was like, hello? And the person on the other line was like, hey, I'm returning your call. And that blew my mind because apparently throughout the whole time, that person saw a missed call from Mandy, and Mandy was like, I was there the entire time. She didn't even attempt to call her, but when you looked at her phone called her. I'm like, ain't that a sign? Right? Where it's calling who you need to call without even trying to call. I'm like, this is crazy. And anyways, long story short, okay, she spoke her truth. It was very, very difficult, but she spoke her truth. And it was funny because as she was speaking her truth, Mandy's got two phones, right? Her and I do. One for business, one for personal. And she's speaking her truth, and I was listening because it was a 20, 30-minute call, and I was there to support, Her other phone was beeping. You've received money. You received money 3 times in PayPal. And I'm like, what's going on? Clients just, back then she was doing client work, decided to just book sessions with her. She didn't even know what was going to happen. They were just booking it all at the same time that she was on the phone. Because again, like I said earlier on, when it comes to life, there's more than one part of the story. If you're in a lower vibration and the signs are bills and negative people, then when you're in higher vibration, the signs are also going to be apparent. In this case, it was money showing up because that was important to Mandy at that point in life when she was building her business. She needed the belief that she was doing the right things. And for her, belief came in the form of a monetary and clients, right? So it was coming in as she was on the phone. And when she got off the phone, she smiled. She's like, thank God I did that. Next thing you know, within 2 hours, all 5 of the negative folks that came in with issues and with problems, they just disappeared. They're like, oh, thanks, figured it out. Okay, thank you, gotta go. Oh, my son needs me or whatever. all of them exited as quickly as they entered. Why is that? Because she shifted her vibration. And the vibration that she was in, higher vibrations, negativity couldn't follow, couldn't exist, right? It was in that vibration. It was 95% positivity, only 5% negativity. So guess what? Maybe they got the energetic memo that their 5% was up and they had to go. But they were gone, right? And that was such a beautiful lesson for us when it came to vibration. How many of you all have had this experience, right? Curious. Low vibration, a lot of problems, a lot of negativity. High vibration, a lot of positivity, right? And you think you're crazy, like, why is life like this? Nope. You're just being taught what vibration is. The reality is you can cut the lows and just be on the highs, and that's what life can be, right? And that's what happens when you're, as an empath, you're not giving your power away. Okay, and I want you to ask this to yourself. As an empath, what would your life be like if the people who didn't drain you, who weren't negative, who weren't toxic, didn't show up much or at all? And or if they did, there's like extremely short amount of time. Instead of 100% of the time, maybe 5% of the time. And only the people who fueled you, who raised you up, who empowered you, showed up. How would life be different? Right? Because you're probably thinking to yourself, here's the thing, because I thought of it back in the day, right? I don't want to have to lose people. What if the people that are draining me are family and friends? Okay, I don't want to lose them. And the reality is, you think you lose people. I've been doing this for over 20 years. You think you do. It's the worst fear scenario, but a lot of times it never happens. There might be breaks where, it happened here and there, or things have to readjust, boundaries have to reform to healthy ones, and that's fine. The relationship redefines itself to where now, instead of it being unhealthy boundaries, it becomes healthy ones, and they're still in your life. You don't lose people. When you do it right, a lot of times you don't lose people, you actually free them. So as you free yourself, you free them of that pattern that isn't serving them as well, right? And a lot of times as well, what ends up happening is it's not that you become, that they change. Because a lot of times you can't, here's scenario one, you do it right, you change, and because you change, they change. And because the pattern that runs within them runs within you, when you break it within yourself, it breaks it in them as well, and they have the opportunity to shift, and you guys change and elevate, and the relationship becomes stronger than ever. But people don't know this. People think, oh, and I thought for myself as well, you know what? When I do these boundaries, when I change, I lose them, and that's it. Because our mind goes to the worst possible case scenario, and that's fine. I've been through that. Let me tell you, that's not always the case. A lot of times it creates a nice and safe space, gives them time, and when you shift yourself, they shift too. Because they have FOMO. They don't want to be left behind, so they shift. And by that, it frees them, right? Or second option that people don't talk about is this, okay? It's not that the problems go away. You just become so strong, so much bigger to it, okay? You're more fueled to where mountains. And the reason why there are mountains is because a lot of times, molehills, anthills become mountains because you have nothing left to give. So what's easy for you to do becomes extremely difficult when you have no fuel. But when you're extremely fueled, those big things become little things, and you eat them for breakfast and you don't even blink. Because you can become mentally, emotionally, energetically stronger to where things don't faze you anymore. And in higher vibrations, they don't even show up because they cannot exist. Okay? They cannot exist in higher vibrations, right? And this is my thing. Here's the thing that I realized, okay? Yeah, things can be hard or things can be easy. Those are two options that I've seen in life. It can be hard and long. It can be easy and it can be quick, okay? And what I realized is I'm choosing the easy, quick, and fast path. I'm choosing to do it in a year instead of doing it in 40 or 50 years. I want it faster because it can be faster. And the life that you want is one vibration away. It's just one jump, okay? One vibration away. And you've probably done this in your life in the past, where you've jumped vibrations and all of a sudden you're lucky, good things happen to you and amazing things happen to you. And things when you dipped in vibration, all of a sudden you're attracting all the negativity, right? That happens. It's just that it's been very erratic, and you can't consciously do it on demand. And the goal here is to learn the tools so you can do it more consciously and more proactively, okay? And here's the thing. There's a lot of things to focus on. Again, like I said, I can go on for a week, for an entire year, and there's a lot of base to cover. But if I were to pick one shift that I want you guys to take from this, because it's the most important one, that we can squeeze in today, is this. You need to shift from your human vibration to your soul vibration. You need to be able to make decisions that keep you in your soul vibration. And this is the thing. Your soul vibration is your most natural vibration. It's who we are, right? In these moments to where the world gets dark, we have that light within that we feel, right? And it's those moments to where you really, really need to, you manifest the miracle, right? Because are those times to where when everything is dark, you just get guidance and you follow it. You get that nudge. Because our soul never goes away. It may be buried, okay, by our human experience, but it's there. And when you're able to tap into your authentic energy, your soul vibration, as an empath, you are stepping into the greatest version of you that you have yet to meet, or you have to get used to becoming again. Okay, your soul vibration. Okay, and you are this empowered empath in your human vibration, and an empowered empath in your soul vibration. Okay, so what I want to, and I'm going to bring this all, all full circle with this next image here. I want to take a picture of this one. Okay, this one is my soul identity chart, and I'm going to put it up here, and I'll give you guys a second to take a picture. Take a picture here, screenshot picture. All right. All right. So with this one, this is why. So let me rewind. You want to make a jump from the human, which is your life right now, to your soul vibration, soul identity. Okay, and that's what this is a pretty complex one, but I'm gonna make it simple here. Okay, because here's the thing. Energy is the one thing that affects us all. I'm going to explain in this chart in a second. And your energy is what, controls or dictates your vibration, which is ultimately what we want to master, is our vibration. Because in a higher vibration, negative people can show up. We have more fuel. We can manifest faster. We feel better. We're amazing. And in lower vibrations, problems show up. We feel drained. We attract more negativity, so on and so forth. So you want to make a jump, right? But in order to shift things, sometimes it's important to know the elements that affect your vibration. So I wanted to break it down here. So right now, at the very bottom, you can see, right, is your life right now, right? So think about it. Your life right now, it has a certain energy to it. And without guilt or shame, let's do this exercise. Let's do a reality check. Look at your life right now, and I want you to ask yourself, okay, how are you in different areas? Meaning to say, how are you with abundance and money? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it are you stuck? How are you with your physical health? Do you have enough energy? Are you vibrant? Are you healthy? Or you have physical stuff that's showing up? Because you're an empath, right? That's slowing you down. Are you drained? How's that? How are your relationships? Are they uplifting, empowering, positive, loving, or draining, toxic, negative, disempowering? Are people there mostly lifting you up, empowering you, or are they fueling you, or are they mostly draining you, slowing you down, lowering your vibration, right? How is it? The emotions that you feel on a daily basis, they good Empowering or disempowering and debilitating? The thought processes that you have. Do you have clarity? You feel like you can take on the world? You have so much energy? Or not? Is it foggy, overwhelmed, confused, no clarity? What's it like? Okay? And I'm asking you these tough questions because I want you to call it out, because in order to progress in this, you got to see things as they truly are. And doesn't mean you're going to get stuck there. It's just that now we know where we are, calling a spade, so that we can know how to move forward. That's it. We're not owning it, we're just calling it as it is. Right? Now, your life right now, that produces a certain energy, that produces a certain vibration. And when you don't change it, you're stuck to where currently, unchanged, with no interference, okay, you are going to be attracting people, problems, situations that reinforce the life that you're in right now, because that's the vibration that you're in. You got to understand that when you are at a certain vibration, certain channel, the things that you attract, the things that show up, are the things that keep you in there, that are designed to show up in that vibration. Everything else you repel, because they simply do not belong in that vibration. Okay? Now, here's the thing. What affects your life right now? What affects your life right now? Decisions. Decisions affect your life. In this human world, decisions are the drivers of what we experience in life. Decisions. All right? One of my good friends, Tony Robbins, I've been doing healings on him and his wife for several years now, and he says this a lot. Decisions shape destiny. It's true. And if you look at your life right now, okay, your life right now is a result of the things that you did or the things that you didn't do in life. It's a result, one or the other. What do you do? What you didn't do, right? If you think about it, everything has an effect. So you said, yes, I do, or I'm done. No. I'm going to move. I'm going to stay. I'm going to have kids. I'm not going to have kids. I'm going to do what I'm passionate about. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Right? I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to hold it in. I'm going to stand in my power and be comfortable in my own skin. I'm going to hide and be invisible. The world's a safe place. I'm going to open my heart up to love and open up my heart. The world's not a safe place. I'm going to hide. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to protect myself. All these decisions affect the life that we have now. But here's the thing. All of these decisions also produce an energy. Each and every one. I do and I'm done. Each have a different energy. And that energy does what? Okay? That energy, okay, contributes, dictates, controls your vibration. Okay, decisions are probably one of the most powerful things. You're going to learn there's two things that can completely change your vibration in an instant. You can do one of them or both of them, but each one of them has the power to change everything. And that's decisions are one of them, right? Doesn't matter. Let's say, for example, you're in a toxic relationship, abusive mentally, emotionally, even physically or spiritually, abusive, right? And if your thought process is like, okay, I'm not going to leave this person. I'm going to stay. I'm going to help them. I'm the only one they're relying to. They only do it sometime. It's okay. It's not really that bad. If that's your thought process, but decision-wise, you're like, screw it. I'm just going to leave him because it's not good for my soul. What do you think trumps the other? Decision. Because the decision to leave, even though your programming is telling you to stay, decision to leave is what counts and affects your reality. Right? And the opposite is also true. If you're like, your mind's like, I should probably leave. They're abusive. They talk down. They're draining. They're negative. They're affecting me. They're affecting everything in my life. They're not a good match for me. I'm drained, right? It's not what life is supposed to be. Those are your thoughts. No, but then you stay. You decide to stay. What do you think counts more? The decision. In this reality, and I'm not saying it's true for all different realities, but for this reality that we're in right now on Earth, decisions matter. Decisions shape your destiny. They're important. Okay? You got to decide. It really is what it is. Not making a decision is a decision. Inaction has its own energy to it. But let's dive deeper, right? Because it gets deeper. What drives decisions in life? Emotions. Emotions are like adding fuel to the fire. When you have a lot of them poured into, they either drive you to action or inaction. But emotions, they're the driver. They're the huge driver of it. Okay? And you want to ask yourself, what kind of emotions do you experience on a daily basis? What are they? Right? Because are you on a daily basis, are you feeling anxious, overwhelmed, frustrated, guilt, shame, anger, fear? Like, put the emotions that you're feeling in the chat. And it's okay. Because as you own it, as far as like calling it out, you can start gaining control of it. Right? But what are the emotions that you're feeling? Are they disempowering? Right? Hold you back? Keep you down? Keep you in a box? Right? Or are they empowering? Clarity, peace, purpose, excitement, love. Right? What emotions are you feeling? Because each emotion has an energy to it. Right? When it comes to your vibrations, that's trifecta. Mind, emotions, decisions. Each has an energy that controls your vibration. But when you look at your life and you really look at the pattern of what you feel emotionally, you'll get an idea of like, Because here's the thing. You think it's just a day. No. Day can turn into your life and really quick unchecked. Because of what happens. Days turns into weeks. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. Years turn into decades. Next thing you know, you blink and it's the rest of your life. So if you're experiencing these emotions, even just for a short period of time, we are habitual in nature. How we live one day typically is how we'll repeat it over and over and over again. Right? That's why they did it when they did a study on couples, and they studied the types of fights that couples have over a prolonged period of time. They're like, wow, 80% or more, majority of the fights come down to one or two things that happen over and over again, that they fight about the same issues over and over and over and over again, and it's not creative. It's not like you can come up with a new issue. It's like, okay, you didn't do the dishes, and you didn't clean, and that becomes the issue. Or you did this, or you didn't say this, or you said this, you gave me that look, or the finances are happening, or whatever it is. Like whatever couples fight about, is for couples, it's always one or two of the same issues over and over and over again, because we're creatures of habit. A lot of things don't change. So when you're experiencing emotional patterns, they typically are blanket to where that becomes the emotions you experience, whether you're conscious or unconscious, that becomes the predominant emotions you experience for the rest of your life unless you change it. Right? So emotions play a big part. Right? And I want you to ask yourself in the chat, put this, comment below, Facebook or YouTube, or put it in the chat, and be really, 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 really honest. Okay? The emotions that you experience throughout the day, are they primarily empowering, or are they primarily disempowering? Empowering or disempowering? Which one is it? Okay? Disempowering, yeah. Both, disempowering. And it's okay. There's no shame in it being disempowering because that's why you're in this event. So we can change it from disempowering to empowering. It's okay. Once you become aware and you call it out, it's mostly disempowering, then the decision becomes like, I want to make it empowering. I want my emotions to lift me up. I want it to be predominantly empowering, and that's a beautiful intention to set. Okay? So let's go a little bit deeper. Emotions we talked about, right? Now, with emotions, let's ask yourself, what drives emotions? What drives emotions? It's a big one. What's the driver of emotions? And it's going to be belief, the thoughts, the mind. The mind drives emotions, okay? Because the thing is, with the mind, okay, there's a lot of different things that it produces that has energy output to it as well. All right. So, for example, again, I'm gonna go back here, and you're gonna see my graphic here in a second. So you can see here, there's what? This is a bunch, just a lot of them, but I'm boiling it down to 4 for simplicity for this session. You have self-talk, you've got limiting beliefs, you've got rules, and you've got triggers and trauma. Self-talk, right? It's like, I'm not good enough. Or I can't do that. Right? Or oof, like, you're too selfish. Right? All self-talk. And each self-talk that you have has a specific energetic output and vibration as well. And you can feel free to put your self-talk as well, your specific self-talk in the chats. Call it out. Because when you call it out, when you put it out there, you're aware of it. Now you're aware of it. It's harder for it to repeat itself. For mine was like, oh, I'm not good enough. What if I mess up again? What if I don't have what it takes? Right? What if I lose people? What if they judge me? What if they hurt me? What if I'm not enough? What if I don't have what it takes? What if it won't happen for me? Right? Who do I think I am to do this? All this self-talk, and every single one of them had like an energy that's just disempowering. Okay? I can't do it. This won't work for me. I'm going to fail again. Right? Put it in the chat. Because the thing is, here's the thing. Once you have it in the chat, sometimes what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna put a self-talk there that other people didn't even know they had, because a lot of times self-talk is unconscious until you become conscious of it. And when you become conscious of it, you can shift it. Right? I do not matter. Right? I'm not worthy. It's a lot. Now, next thing to self-talk, next big one is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. It's a big one. Limiting beliefs. Right? Money is the root of all evil. Like, put your limiting beliefs when it comes to money. Right? Money's the root of all evil. It's lonely at the top. Right? More money, more problems. They even create songs about it. Right? Like, all these beliefs about money. That has certain energy to it. Right? It can also be money can be used to help people. Money can solve problems. And when I have money, I become more of who I am. And if you're good, you don't have to worry about it. Right? It's a lot of different things. Again, there's always a balance to life. There's always the things that are dark and the things that are light. We forget about that. But when it comes to love, what are some of the beliefs that you have? Right? If they knew the real me, they're not going to like me. They're going to hurt me. Everybody just wants something from you. They want to take. Right? Everyone's got an agenda. Or, There's good in the world. I attract what I vibrate on. Therefore, if I'm a high vibration, then it's going to be amazing people. People are love beings. Right? What is the belief around love? And then you have rules. Rules is another one. Right? How many of you all have rules of like, you know what? You have rules around self-care. Self-care should be a daily thing or multiple times a day because self-care is oxygen for the soul. It's oxygen for our being. Right? But if you grew up in a family like me where my mom was mostly, the hero type, the martyr type, the save everyone type, she didn't do self-care until she was broken down and she was tired, beat down, drained, and only then was she like, okay, I guess I need self-care because I'm sick, or I've earned it because I've suffered too much. That's the rule that she had. I can only do self-care when I'm this. I had one gal went to one of our workshops several years ago. Big heart. She was volunteering. Like literally volunteering like 2 to 3 times a week. And she still thought that she was not purposeful. She thought she wasn't helping people. And I'm like, why? I was like, what are your rules? What do you think makes you a good person? She was like, I got to be volunteering 7 days a week, 14 hours a day for years and years and years. And been able to travel to different areas and have this thing, in place, and, world hunger is ended, and then therefore I know I did my job. Or all these unrealistic rules, right? That make it impossible to us for experience happiness and fulfillment in the now, because our rules are so unattainable. They only love me if they text me, I love you 5 times a day, and they give me gifts, and they give me a hug and a kiss, and they tell me I'm the most important one. And if they have to do all that in that order, and then I feel love. Otherwise, they don't love me. Rules. And our rules, each and every single one of the rules that we have, also has an energy that puts us in a certain vibration. Spoiler alert, we attract the people and the opportunities and the problems that are in line with our rules. So if your rules make it hard for you to feel love, you're going to attract people and situations around you that's going to make it harder for you to feel love as well from them, because the rules have their own vibration. Therefore, you attract it. Right? I know it's a lot. This is a lot, but here's the thing. I'm cramming in, 20 years worth of empath stuff here, so you all know how it works. And when you know how it works, you have the chance and the opportunity to not let the patterns unfold like they have in the past, because you have the tools. So you'll have a different outcome based on your decision. But I want to give you all these different factors so you at least know all the things that could affect you. Okay? And lastly, is traumas and triggers. Traumas and triggers, and because a lot of times we've experienced a lot of pain in life, things in the past that affect us, whether it's conscious or unconscious, they trigger us, and we have a response in the now based on things that have happened in the past. And that also has its own set of energy that controls our vibration. So everything in the mind, and there's a lot more to this, there's probably dozens and dozens, but here's the top 4 that I wanted to go over today: is self-talk, limiting beliefs, rules, traumas, and triggers. Okay, traumas and triggers. Okay? These all hold us back. But here's the thing. All of this falls under what I call the human-created identity. We weren't born with it. That's the beautiful part. It's not our natural being. Our natural being is much higher. It's our soul identity. It's our soul vibration. It's our authentic energy. We're beings that are made of love and light, and that's how we come onto this planet. You weren't born right away out of the womb thinking to yourself, I'm not good enough. Money is the root of all evil. This has to happen for me to feel love, and I'm triggered. No. Those are the things that life creates. It happens. But it's not who we are. Okay? That's the biggest misconception people have. They think the things that have happened to us is who we are. No. They're the things that have happened to us. Who we are is who we are. When you realize that, you realize that who you are, innately you're free. You're high vibrational. You are love. And my goal is to give you enough tools so you experience that more and more and more and more throughout your life. Okay? And that's when things radically change. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call some of my VIP folks because I want to hear from you. Right? And I want you guys to share, because when you guys share, guess what happens? Not only are you speaking your truth, you're putting yourself in a high vibration, right? But when you're sharing, you're also owning that lesson, okay? And you're inspiring people around you. So here's what I want you to share. If you want me to pick on you, just raise your virtual hand or raise your physical hand. But I want you to share with me and everybody here where you think your block is. Is it decisions that you make from your life? Is it mostly emotional? Is it mostly from your self-talk or limiting beliefs? Where is the block, right? That's number one, is where do you think your block is? And number two, what is your soul vibration like? Because in times in life, we've experienced our soul vibration. So for example, for me, if I were to do an example, right? And I'll be, okay, what's my block? And if I were to remember my block when it came to love back in the past, okay, for me, my block would have been limiting beliefs of I thought love was painful, people out there to hurt me, right? And my block was probably I made a decision to hide because I was bullied a lot in the past, so I wanted to hide more, right? And when I was hiding, right? Like it was just I put myself in that vibration that was low, right? So I'll give you guys an opportunity to share. You can share one or two things, okay? Because I want you to just get people in the habit of sharing here. You can share what your biggest block is, or you can share what your biggest aha or breakthrough is so far that we've had today. Okay? So if you guys want to raise your hands, I'll do some shares. Just put your virtual hand in the chat, raise it up, and I will pick, and you guys can do some shares, okay? Let's go with room number 1 from our VIP folks, Kimberly Worth, room number 1. All right, give us a second here. All right, the team will unmute you. Okay. All right. All right.
All right.
Hi, Kimberly.
Thank you so much. I believe trauma is my biggest block.
Trauma.
Trauma. I don't do negative self-talk. And I have a lot of good things in my life. I manifest well, but my most recent trauma is the loss of my son, my adult son, to cancer.
Yeah.
But he was a very spiritually young man. And I know we talked about our auras and how, it's all good, but I'm just having a hard time on a day-to-day basis dealing with that.
Yeah. First of all,
thank you for letting me share.
Yeah. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss. Right. It's never easy losing a loved one. And here's the thing: is one of the most powerful things that you can do is to just, as an empath, is when grief comes up, whenever anything happens. Okay, there has to be yes, we feel it, but there also has to be daily practices of how to release anything. Because really, releasing doesn't mean we feel it. Feeling is good. Releasing means whatever we feel, we no longer allow it to become a pressure cooker to where it now affects us deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So for me, what I've seen, having experienced a lot of grief and loss in my life, and having seen it with other people as well, is that during this period of time is a lot of self-care, a lot of self-love, a lot of doing things for you, a lot of it's okay to feel it, and a lot of practices of releasing any excess energy, because it's the excess energy that we hold on to at times for long periods of time that kind of takes a toll on our body and our soul, right? But the more that you feel, the more that you don't give yourself any timelines or deadlines, you just feel, process, like, what you're going to see happening is the grief starts to process faster and faster and faster. It doesn't mean that you're not feeling it, because you're going to feel it plenty, as we all do with grief. But as it releases, next thing you know, it more of your love, can come through, and you feel, and that returns you back to your authentic energy, right? But yes, a lot of times, like, the biggest thing that holds people back, in the meantime, as an empath, is trauma and triggers, and they stay there longer because they have a lot of rules of how it has to look like, and and they don't realize that you can feel grief, and you can also feel love, and you can also feel deeply, and you can also release it, right? And just because you release it doesn't mean your son's not going to be in your heart as you do. You never lose part of them; they're always there, but it just no longer debilitates you in life. You can move forward. You're empowered, right? And you can carry on in a higher vibration.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful share. Right. All right. Amazing. All right. Who's next? Who wants to share? Raise your virtual hand or your physical hand. Let's go with 1 second. Lots of amazing people here. Let's see. Let's go with room number 2. Joseph Baldock from our VIP room number 2. Hello.
Hey, Oliver, thank you so much for this. This has been so great so far. I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm coming at this, I think, with two kind of interesting limiting beliefs. One is that I have an obligation. It comes back from trauma, childhood trauma, abusive neglect, that it's my job to help anybody who comes to me for help.
Yep.
And the other belief that follows on that is it will be an endless drain. So I feel called to help in areas that I see people in pain, and yet I want to isolate because I think, it's never going to end.
Yes. And amazing. We've actually worked with a lot of psychotherapists. Here's the thing. I'm wired exactly like you. And here's what I realized. Okay, the more I take care of myself, the more I step into my power, the more I embrace my empathic abilities. My entire life right now, I work like 16, sometimes 18 hours a day, is dedicated to helping. You don't help less just because you become an empowered empath. You can help faster, you can help deeper, you can help more people, right? And not be drained. And still have that zest for life and still be energized because you're not... and again, that's what I said in the beginning, is like empaths are really unrealized healers. But at the highest vibration, if you think about it, when you are completely fueled, completely supported, right, then the people that you attract in that level are people that also want to work on themselves. They want to work on themselves. They're willing to do the work. You're going to ask for your help, but they're also going to take action, so it's not going to fall on deaf ears, right, to where they're going to do something with it. And you're going to find better and faster and deeper ways to get them out of pain, more creative ways, right? And that becomes your life's work. So the thing is, you don't have to stop because it's painful not to help when you are born to help, right? And for me, I can tell you, I'm helping. I'm going to be helping regardless. As a drained empath, I was helping. As an empowered empath, as a healer, I'm helping. But the only difference is how I feel at the end of the day. Am I drained? Am I feeling like crap? I'm feeling like there's nothing left to give. And am I overheating to where I'm now, on edge, taking it out on my loved ones because, I'm just like on that space? Or do I have so much abundance, so much energy, so much love, so much support in my heart and in my life to where helping people is just natural. It doesn't drain me anymore. Right? It becomes a superpower. Because here's the thing, as an empath, what people don't realize is like once you become healed in yourself and you're stepping into your power, something shifts. And you can be the person that walks into the mall and you're affected by everybody else's energy. That's one part of the story. And that's the first part of the story. Or you can be the second person that walks into the mall and you lift everybody up with your energy. You light the room up and you love people. You don't even have to think about doing it. It becomes who you are. Next thing you know, everybody leaves better off because you're there. So for me, that's what an empowered empath can do. It's like you can receive energy and absorb it deeply, but you can also project it even deeper, right? So for me, it's like I would not change your ability to help, your desire to help. I think that's why you and I stay with people longer than most people do. And when most people give up, we fight for them because we want to get them out of pain. And that's a beautiful gift. That's a big heart that you never want to change, right? It's just that you want to be supported as you do it.
And I know you're going to probably talk about this, but you keep saying self-care. And every time you say it, I think, well, I know what he means, but I actually don't.
Yes.
I don't. When I think, how do I personalize that? What does that even look like?
Yeah. And that's actually, it's like, I think it's day 2 or possibly day 3, but I'm going to talk about how to protect your energy, but I'm also going to talk about the different levels of self-care that each one can do and how it can look like, right? Because everybody has a different level of it, but also more important than the activity itself is the frequency of it, which I'm going to talk about both of them. But yes, it's one of the topics for the next 3 days.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Thank you. All right, let's go with who's next. Raise your virtual hand or your hand as well, and I'll call somebody wants to share. Let's see here. Let's go with, keep your hand up. Let's go with room number 2, Gail Lord, Gail, Gail. Hi, Gail.
Hi. Okay, so I think trauma is where everything is located for me. I started out young with the trauma. At 11, I was in a school bus that was hit by a train and badly injured. And from then on, I've had a total of 9 car accidents with head and back injuries every time. I've had a total of 10 concussions. I had a son who was born premature and only lived for 4 years till we lost him. My husband just died a year ago. And my son isn't talking to me anymore. He's kind of become a narcissist. And I seem to draw narcissistic people into my life. So all of those things, one on top of the other, I think have contributed to who I am. And I don't know how to get rid of those blocks.
Right. And the thing with it is, it's good that you talk about blocks, because tomorrow I go over 4 blocks, right? I wanted to blocks are super important to know. It's why I wanted to dedicate like almost an entire day to blocks tomorrow, because they're definitely important. But what you need to know is the way that you solve this isn't by fixing every single problem that shows up in the vibration that you're on. The way to solve it is to figure out something that happened with whatever blocks that we're going to discuss tomorrow that got you into this vibration. And we just need to get you out of it. Right? And when you get out of it, the entire environment changes, because the things that you're experiencing in this reality, from your son not talking to you, right, to the people that you're attracted that are toxic or narcissistic, to all those different things that are disempowering, they're vibration based, right? And sometimes things happen in life that get us to a vibration, and they happen to get us there, and the next thing you know, once we're there, we start attracting other things in that vibration that keeps us there deeper into that vibration until we feel like this is just what life is, and it kind of like it's hard because you don't know what got you there and you don't know how to get out, right? But I think one of the first steps really is as you learn how to protect your energy, which I'm going to go over in the next few days, like practices on how to do that. What's going to end up happening is the external is not going to affect you as much. And you're going to feel better and better and better. And as you feel better and better and better, your vibration goes higher and higher and higher. And it gets to a point where it blasts past the vibration that you're on, and it changes your entire vibration. And when that changes, then it starts attracting different things, and the environment and the reality becomes different because you're in a different vibration, right? So that's kind of like one of the fastest paths that I've seen, because focusing and solving it on what it is right now is just going to keep perpetuating it until we shift it, because the root is vibrational, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Awesome. And we'll get this. And in this next 3 days, there's going to be a lot of techniques, and I'm pretty confident, because I've dealt with it myself, but I've also seen it with a lot of other people that have had similar situation to you. And by doing these practices, you should start feeling yourself again and feeling more empowered. And then that's when you can do that for a prolonged period of time is when everything starts to change and shifts. And next thing you know, you look around you and you're like, your new story becomes, oh wow, things get better over time, and I attract actually, supportive people into my life, and it gets better, right? And that happens, as the vibration shifts. So I look forward to that for you.
Thank you. Me too.
Of course. Thank you so much. All right. We'll do one more. Raise your hand if you want to do a share real quick. One more. Let's see. Let's go with, let's see here. Room number 1, Samantha Guerin. Samantha Guerin.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Wow, what an honor. Thank you. I have some really beautiful and powerful things to share with people. I'm going to start off by saying I'm an alcoholic, and today I'm 51 days sober. And thank you. I'm a little nervous, but I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be of service today. My addiction, my alcoholism is the block, but I checked myself into Betty Ford Rehab, and I went full throttle, engaged in the program. I surrendered. I became powerless. And by doing that, I used to resent myself. How could I let this happen to me? But I was able to realize the core of what led to my addiction coming out. And similarly to most of the people that spoke, I've suffered trauma since I was a little girl. And, with that, I used to resent myself. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't love myself. But with that aha moment, I was able to give my first amends ever, and that was to myself. I don't hate myself anymore. I love myself, and God has gifted me with the strength to accept and only control the things that I can control. I've learned to let go and let God, and with that comes being still with my mind. And one of the greatest powers of all that one can be gifted with is the power of now. I've learned to not live in the past, not think about the future, but stay in the present today. And with that, that has allowed me to block out all negativity and really protect myself. I'm very cautious with who I let inside my inner circle, and I'm still learning every single day. There's never a moment where you can't learn, but I decided 3 weeks ago to apply to med school, and I got a call from a beautiful angel by the grace of God, and I got in with a full ride. And I know that I'm meant to be a healer. I've found my purpose in life. And my goal is to open up these healing houses called Prism Healing House. And it's all based around holistic medicine and Eastern practices. And I know that if I'm of service every day to people for the rest of my life, that my mark on this world will be made, and I will be able to then die happily and return home. And that's what I'd like to share with you all.
Wow. First of all, thank you so much, because that's like a perfect example of from empath that has had everything happen and feeling everything deeply to becoming a healer and making an impact and making a difference for the lives of many. So that is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so proud of you. And
thank you.
You inspired so many people here more than you know. So thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Don't give up. Oh, don't give in. Never lose hope. Don't let go of the promise. It ain't done yet. It's got a plan. Watch them break down.
Wow.
Got a miracle.
Look at the chats. Everybody's so positive, congratulating you. Wow. Wow. And that shows everybody here, when you heal yourself, the tremendous healing power we have, impact that we can make, for others. Because that's the biggest thing is as an empath, sometimes, people don't realize this, but the deepest and darkest pain that we've experienced in life, it's clues at times to the thing that we were born to solve here on earth. People that were here to help. There's a higher meaning to it at times that we can step into as a healer. It just makes everything make sense. All right, and don't worry, everybody in the VIP here that didn't get a chance to share, as part of the VIP, after each and every day, I have an hour of Q&A with each and every single one of you. Right, so I'm going to have a chance to answer as many questions as I can in an hour. So do not worry if you didn't get a chance to share and ask a question. After day one, we're going to have a Q&A just for the VIP folks, right? So we're going to be doing that. And all right. So what I want to, first of all, thank you everybody for the beautiful shares and the breakthroughs here. I mean, there's more. We're literally not even finished with day one, and so much of you are sharing such amazing things that are inspiring, right? But to kind of bring it to a circle here, the key to mastering your vibration is mastering your energy. Energy is everything. Thoughts produce energy. Emotions produce energy. Decisions produce energy. That energy controls your vibration. I'm going to share with you later, towards the end, 2 things I'll focus on. If you focus on one of them, it has the most powerful impact, changing your entire vibration. You do both, it changes everything, right? So energy is everything, right? And energy really controls your vibration. Your vibration controls your reality, who you attract, what situations you attract, and what you also repel. Because there are certain vibrations. If you're in a lower one, you're repelling positive things for you, good things for you, people that are healthy, people that are empowering, abundance. At lower vibrations, you repel. At higher vibrations, you attract them, and you repel negativity, right? It's kind of like it flips, right? And the fastest way to raise your vibration and create your soul identity is to heal yourself, right? Is to remove the blocks that are holding you back. Because here's the thing, we we're born high vibrational, then life happens, and these blocks are created, and these 4 blocks I'm going to talk about tomorrow. When these blocks are created, it lowers your vibration, and in a lower vibration, that's when you start experiencing all, the tough, the heavy, the dark things in life. They only show up at lower and lower vibrations, right? So the decision that I want you to make today is make a decision, make a promise to yourself that you're going to heal and you're going to do it fast, right? You're going to heal and you're going to do it fast because it's time. It is definitely time. As an empath, you've lived this life, right, for a long time. Now you know you can do it, but you don't have to keep doing it. There's a better way of doing it, right? And the thing that I realized, because I used to think healing was lifelong, right? I thought healing was lifelong, but the reality is this. Healing is just a phase. It can happen fast. We were not meant to live our lives just to keep healing and get better and better and better, because we weren't born into this world broken and imperfect. We weren't. We were born whole, complete, as love, and deeply with light. And life happened, and we feel at times we're broken. We feel at times that we aren't perfect, that we aren't worthy, which it couldn't be further from the truth, right? So we're not here to heal for the rest of our lives, because that's not the purpose of life. The purpose of life really is to thrive, experience the beauty of life has to offer. Because when you're thriving, it's easier for you to get to a space to where you step into your purpose and you do the thing that you're born to do, and really give, make a difference, and help, and however it is that unfolds for you. That's our purpose in life, is to thrive and experience the best that life has to offer and do our purpose work. It's not to heal and just get there and make ends meet, right? And that's one of the big beliefs that the people have that I want to debunk, is healing is not a lifelong thing. It's supposed to be happening fast, quick, and typically, people I've seen, instead of, 30, 40, 50, a lifelong worth of healing, they get it done in 3 months, 6 months, a year, year and a half or whatever. It can be done fast, when you choose to heal fast. Okay, when you choose, you choose if you want. And here's the thing: is there's always a choice. We live in a reality, okay, to where the choice is, do I want to heal slow or do I want to heal fast? It's a decision, right? So for those of you that you want, let me know what your decision is. Do you want to heal fast? If so, claim it in the chats. I want to heal fast, right? Because the thing is, the life that you want is on the other side of healing. It really is, right? The life that you want is on the other side of it. The thriving, the abundance, the purpose is on the other side of it, right? And for me, it's like things are better fast, and healing is one of them. You can do it fast, right? As an empath, you can experience your full potential and full potency fast, right? When you decide that, this year's my year, it's my time, and I'm going to heal, I'm going to do it fast. All right? All right, there you go. The chat is flying. I love it. I love it. Look at that. Yes. I want to heal like yesterday. Never give up. I want to heal fast. Ass up. Okay, look at this. Wow. Fast. Nobody wants to do it slow. Everybody's claiming it. There you go. Time is now. Fast and sustainable. Absolutely. There you go. Snap fast. I want to do it today. You can. All right. Okay, so I want to go over real quick here, and I'm going to give you guys time to take a picture of this. It's the 4 steps to mastering your energy. Okay, so real quick, I'll give you guys an opportunity to take a picture, screenshot it, wherever you guys are. Okay. 4 steps to mastering your energy. Master your energy, master your vibration. All right? So, 4 steps. First is protecting your energy. I'm going to go over tomorrow, right? I think it is day 2, maybe day 3. But like a lot of times what we're doing is, the reason why I'm not sure is a lot of times I move a lot of things around. And like after I read the chat, I tune into other people's energy. I'm like, when would this fit better, day 2 or day 3? Depending on what I feel. And I always, there's a lot of stuff that I even pulled from day 2, and I made it day 1 because I just feel with every single group that I do, it's always unique, and I wanna kind of like customize the lesson based on the energy of everybody that's in here and where you guys are at the end of each day, right? So number 1 is protecting your energy, which you'll definitely learn over the next 3 days. How to clear your energy is super important. So protecting your energy is important so you're not absorbing negativity from others, right? Clearing your energy is also important because at times, let's say you forget to protect your energy, next thing you know, you're already affected. You're already feeling it, right? That means if you protect your energy, yeah, you're protecting yourself from anything extra coming in, but how do you deal with the thing that you already absorbed? Right, that's when clearing your energy comes in. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is how to raise your vibration. Because in a higher vibration, guess what? A lot of the negative things don't show up. They can't find you. They can't exist in high vibration. And ultimately, step number 4 is stepping into your spiritual gifts as an empath. Because again, empath is just the beginning of it. There's more to it, right? Those are the 4 steps of mastering your energy. Right, and this again, we're gonna go over a lot of tools and techniques for this over the next few days, right? But it's kind of like one of the skills and the cornerstone that when it comes to mastering your energy, which is super essential for empaths. Okay, an ultimate goal is to raise your vibration because here's the thing, at the highest vibration, your vibration becomes your protection. Okay, at a high vibration, your sensitivity transforms into a superpower. You're protected, you manifest faster, you become a force for good in the world, and you start thriving. And when you start doing that, you start affecting everybody else around you. Your environment change, you help, your friends, your family members just by vibrating at that level, you help them just by being. So vibration is the goal. Okay, and energy is the language of vibration. But a high vibration, living in a high vibrational space is the best thing that you can do as an empath. Really is. It changes everything, right? And that's the one thing I want you to focus on. As an empath, how can I master my vibration? Or to do that, you got to master your energy, right? And the thing is, here's the thing. First thing you got to focus on. Okay, if you want to master being in high vibration, you got to ask yourself, what lowers your vibration, right? What lowers it? Okay, because again, if we were born naturally vibrating high and that's who we are, and life is the way it is right now, then there are things that lowered your vibration, right? So when you remove the things that lower your vibration, you're naturally going to what? Elevate in vibration. So that's step number 1, is what lowers your vibration. And tomorrow, I'm going to go over the energy blocks, right? So you want to make sure you're here for day 2 when I go over how, how it works, what blocks are, what the biggest blocks are that lowers your vibration, right? And as an empath, what they are, and how we normally clear it, so on and so forth. So it's important, right? So here's the thing. I told you at the very beginning, right? And I told you at the very beginning, and I told you at the middle again, there's typically our vibration. There's typically 2 things that can completely change your vibration in an instant. There's 2 I'm about to share with you. One in itself, if you do one of them, it has the power to shift your entire vibration. If you do 2, it completely shifts it. Okay, and it's intention and decision. Intention and decision, the 2 things. Okay, the 2 things that can completely change your vibration. Decisions you already know, because you look at your life and you look at where you are right now, okay, and it's a byproduct of your decisions. The things that you did are the things that you didn't do, right? But intention is super powerful as well. Prayer, for example, is a form of intention. Prayer. Okay, prayer. And I'll give you an example, right? The beginning journey for me in utero as an example of prayer. Because when I was, I'm the eldest, only boy. I have 4 younger sisters, so my mom loves telling the story. But when she was pregnant with me, the very, very first kid, like they were like they wanted to get it perfect and right. So I got a lot of did some tests, and early tests showed that there was something wrong with my kidneys. There was a kidney abnormality that they found, and they even back then we were living in the Philippines, and they even flew to the U.S. And had second opinion from the doctors here, and the same thing. They're like, okay, the tests show that your son has a kidney abnormality, right? So my mom was like extremely terrified of it. So what did she do? My mom's I grew up in a very, very devout Catholic household. So my mom was like, I'm gonna go pray. So she went to church almost daily. Lit those intention candles for me and was praying for my health, for my wellness, right? And she was just really set on it and didn't deviate. And she was that was her prayer, which is a form of intention. One of the most powerful forms is prayer. So she prayed for me, and next thing you know, I was born. They did some tests again, and all the doctors were shocked because the kidney abnormality they clearly saw with multiple devices, multiple opinions, it was gone. And she even flew me back, to the United States to get second opinion again to assure it's gone, right? And she tells that story because it was something that defined her life. And for me, when I look back, I'm like, yes, there's a lot of stories that you hear all over the world about people that were sick and they have loved ones and friends that pray. Next thing you know, they're better. Everything's changed, right? But it was one thing to hear it, and it's one thing to actually experience it from the eyes of my mom. So for me, I'm like, wow, intentions are really, really powerful. So that's what I want to pose to you is intention of what you want to do and decisions. They're really, really powerful, and I want to utilize this because the intentions and the decisions that you make at a high vibration, which is when we're in this group, right? We currently have I looked at the numbers this morning. It's amazing. One of our biggest events yet. Over 100,000 people, you guys from all over the world, joined this 3-day event in the last 30 days. 100,000. That's amazing because when 100,000 empaths awaken and empowered, it's going to change the planet. So I'm super, super excited. But here's the thing, we're all here, we're all gathered here to improve our lives. We're all gathered here to, to have more clarity, become free, step into, higher vibration, step into our gifts, right? So this makes it a really high vibrational environment, right? And that means at high vibrations, the intentions and decisions that you make at a high vibration, it's not equal. It's magnified. Right? It's magnified, and you have the benefit of this high vibration here to assist. Therefore, thoughts and intention turn into things in reality quicker at high vibrations, right? And for me, if I look at it, there are 2 really important moments in my life, right? And one was when I decided to get my first healing, which is the story in itself that I'm going to talk about throughout the 3-day, event. And that's one. It changed my entire life. Receiving healing changed my life and turned me into a healer because I saw the power of one healing, right? Number one. And second is the decision to take control of my life and learn the tools, right? Because that decision to be open and to master this, right? It's everything. And that's why you guys are here. You guys showed up. You guys being here live right now, seeing this. You could be anywhere in the world, right? You can be anywhere in the world. You could have watching my ad on Facebook or Instagram. You could have seen any other ad, but you saw my ad and you decided to, for some reason, okay, I resonate with this fella, and join the 3-day challenge, and you're here. So the decision to put yourself first, to take action, to show up here counts. So you've already done a lot of it. So what I'm saying is just consciously making a decision and sending an intention of I'm going to be open. I'm going to master this. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to learn the tools. I'm going to take control of my life, and I'm going to be, I'm going to empower myself as an empath, and I'm ready for that. So that decision, that intention matters. Okay, it really does. Okay, so one of the secrets like I mentioned, of manifesting is this. In the high vibration, which we're all in right now, because we have all this, because here's the thing, when there's a lot of energy, things happen faster in a lot of energy. Thoughts turn into things, turn into reality with more energy. Because we generate more of that energy towards the life that you want. And when you do, the faster it happens. So the more energy generated, the faster manifesting is. And we're in a space right now with over 100,000 people from all over the world. That is just a lot of energy we're generating here. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you're just one person. When you're part of a collective consciousness, of a group like this, it's high vibrational. The power of the group is the power of one. That means you right now, in this moment, have the power of the entire group when it comes to manifesting, right? So let's set the intentions and make the decisions that we have to make in this 3 days, because this is a very unique situation. Okay? So what I want to do is this. All right? What I want to do is this. Homework. And remember, right? When you're doing the breakthroughs, when you're doing the ahas, when you're posting the homeworks, this qualifies as an entry for you guys to win a healing day experience that I do. I'm going to actually be doing one coming up soon, right? It's really, really powerful. An entire day of healing where I'm removing all the blocks, that you're going to learn about tomorrow, right? But a homework qualifies for, an entry to win. And I'm picking at least 2 winners every single day. I'm looking at the chats. I'm looking at the Facebook posts. I'm looking at everything, right? So the homework is this. Post, what is the biggest block you need to heal to reach your soul identity, right? And if you guys have ever felt your soul identity, what does it feel like? Sometimes it's like, oh, when I feel at peace, or I feel just me, or I feel connected. What does it feel like? Right? So 2 things to answer for me. You can do, you can post a video, you can comment it, you can make an entire post, right? Or what is the biggest block you need to heal that I mentioned, right? Is it in your mind? Is it in your emotions? Is it in your decisions? What is the biggest block that you need to reach your soul identity? And in the moments that you've tapped in to your soul identity, what does it feel like? Okay? Important. And I'm going to pick winners, at least 2 a day. And if you win, you're going to get the healing day experience that I do. It's super, super powerful. It's 8 to 12 hours a day of healing for an entire day that we do as a group. You can do it from home, and you have a chance to win that. Awesome. Does everybody know the homework? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So that wraps day 1. Now here is a few reminders, okay? First of all, you want to be here for day 2 tomorrow, because I'm going to go over, the biggest blocks that are holding you back, that are lowering your vibration, right? And for everybody else, if you're a VIP, stay in here. Okay, in 10 minutes, I'm going to do the laser coaching in the Q&A session with my VIP folks. All right, and for those of you that are watching this, you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and you haven't yet, there's still time to upgrade to VIP. Okay, it's going to be oliversvip.com, and I'm going to put a slide in here for a 10-minute break anyway, so you guys can see this. You're not going to forget. It's Olivers, Olivers, VIP.com. And the cool thing about being a VIP is typically, I'm calling the VIPs when I'm doing the shares and the breakthroughs during the next 3 days. But the cool thing about it is, 1, you get replays and recordings of the entire 3-day for life. So you're going to have access to it. You can visit as often as you can. You can watch this as many times as you can. And the second is I do VIP-only Q&A, and laser coaching at the end of every day session. You get about an hour or so you get a chance to ask me a question. And in that hour, I go with as many and answer as many questions as I possibly can, fast, and some of them really, really deep when you need that. So if you need the clarity and you want to get that extra opportunity or extra lesson based on today's lessons, then you can definitely be a part of it when you upgrade to VIP. All right, that's about it for everybody that's VIP. Stay in here. I'm going to see you in 10 minutes. Ask any of your questions, share any of your breakthroughs. I'll be here to answer it. For everybody else, if you haven't yet, you're going to see a slide here that shows how you can how you can join the VIP and what's included. And for everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. We're going to go over the blocks and how to thrive as an empath. I'll see you all tomorrow.
The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a wreck. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. A good day to tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow.